Watch The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, a Korean Western. It's an Eastern Western.
It's taking a while. The Eastern Western.
It's an Eastern Western.
Which is why it's 2.5 hours long.
Well, yeah, it was a very long film, but I was entertained the whole time.
The movie is called Ji-woon Nebunam Isanghanam.
Yeah, I've been to Korea.
I'm still
not even gonna try it.
That sounds Jewish.
Ji-woon Kim.
That sounds Jewish.
Ji-woon Kim.
Okay.
Was it the late 30s or the 40s or what the frick?
It takes place in 1940s Manchuria, where Koreans moved out of Korea because Japan moved in during the war, and that's the kind of cool thing. Is like the whole movie takes place following these Korean characters who are in Manchuria, where there's the Chinese who are also trying to get this treasure map from them. Plus the Japanese army is there, so the Imperial Army is there to get the map as well. So there's like 3 separate groups of people trying to get this thing, you know?
Fun-driven, lots of great shootouts, action kind of film with, you know, all these, well, I should say these 3 really actually interesting characters. I would say the weird and the bad guy for me were the most interesting.
Yeah.
The good guy was okay.
But he didn't show up as much either.
Yeah, that's true, this is true. But I look at a film like this that really used like a lot of, almost all practical conventions to create it.
Yeah.
And using a big span of wide shots of horses chasing,
deserts and
you know,
stuff like that.
big deserts, you know, using this train and all these like, tons of extras on horses shooting, falling off. Where are these movies nowadays? I don't see any movies like this nowadays. I see hundreds and hundreds of CG people running with swords or axes or guns towards something, but I never see a practical source of putting people on these horses and chasing each other through a desert with motorcycles and there's squibs going off and the horses are falling over and the horses are blowing up and their limbs are flying out. I mean, what?
You fell asleep for the horses blowing up?
I'll tell you this right now, like
Apparently I missed the horses blowing up.
Yeah, but
I'm kind of pissed about it.
There's a guy fell off the horse and the horse kept running, then boom!
That was different. The horse went through the blast on that one. The one that was it was the Manchurian leader.
Oh,
who just
that's
went,
right.
Boom! And he's just gone. And then there's like a leg of a horse flying through the flame, and you're like, okay, well he's dead.
And then all the Manchurians go, okay, let's get out of here. Oh gosh. Mountains and loads and tons and bags and lunchboxes full of gun violence. My favorite type of violence.
It's the best of all violence.
Definitely one of the best films I've seen come from Korea. It's just, like literally, I mean, scene to scene to scene, something's going on, some sort of shootout, or a scene that automatically leads to a shootout, that then ends and then goes to another shootout. I mean, I just...
Hey, where's this going? I do a shootout.
I just don't know what else to ask for when I'm looking at a movie. Oh, and a movie that has so much brilliant color and art direction.
Yeah, this film is just gorgeous looking in the colors.
Fantastic. They use CG simply to, you know, enhance little pieces of the film, not to make big compositions of the film.
But even so, like the nice thing, like, because what I've seen a lot in a lot of modern films, especially that have blood violence, it's like we're gonna do a squib and it's gonna look like shit, so we'll just fix that in post with some digital blood. Yeah. And there was none of that in this.
Koreans have a really strange way of mixing their comedy with their melodrama, where it's just like you're like laughing at some stupid character for doing something that's actually kind of realistic. It's based on realism. It's like it's not like a wacky, you know, like Three Stooges like it's not slapstick. Well, it's like that's what the guy would do, and then all of a sudden randomly he gets shot. It's like, well, shit. I was just, I'm laughing at this goofy character, but yeah, he would get shot in that situation.
There's actual real ramifications.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, I love that.
Some people are ill prepared to handle it.
Yeah,
they're goofy.
I'm trying to think of like an actual like American Western that actually handles that the same way, and I can't think of one that's.
I've never seen a non-slapstick American Western comedy.
Yeah, or is that if it's either like Blazing Saddles, or it's Unforgiven. It's like that. It's like those are the two like things like they're fucking hardcore revenge flick or kind of funny, just a hot comic.
There's not a whole lot of in between there.
Yeah,
the end of this film I thought was very much Return of the King, where it's like end.
Yeah, well, that was the thing.
That didn't bother me though because each ending was interesting enough.
Yeah, it kept like continuing.
Where I was like, oh, okay. If it there's so many movies that have like, okay, alrighty, let's get going. Okay, we have this ending. Okay, now I'm bored. I want just end the freaking movie.
Well, yeah, I just felt there was. I mean, some of them were kind of unnecessary. Like the very last shot. Yeah, it was cool and exciting, but it was unnecessary.
There was just some confusion like I had with the names, and I think that was just because, with the translation and reading the subtitles and stuff, I just kind of got confused. So that.
Well, you're a Midwest boy and you don't understand Korean, so.
So yeah, I mean, I think too. I got a little. There was a couple small confusing parts in the story that eventually did add up later on that I just I kind of figured out. But it was an enjoyable movie throughout, and I had a good time watching it. But I wasn't like blown away by what was in the middle of the film. Like I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is just amazing. Like in the middle part.
Well, it's like they got the map, and then it was like, what are we gonna do with the map?
Russia.
But yeah, once we got to the end, and once we got the Japs involved, and
I don't think they like being called that.
And then all the other groups kind of came together to go after this one big chase.
Yeah,
as much as that chase is, it's not necessarily smart writing or huge, character plot driven device. It was still my favorite part of the whole film, so that really saved what was in the middle for me when that hit. I was like, wow, this made the middle worth watching. Hence why I will sit and watch that movie several more times from beginning to end and not just skipping to the end sequence.
The second act really framed the third act. Like you can't, even though the second act
the second act was 2 acts long.
Okay, the second, third act sets the motion for the fourth and fifth act. Whatever it is, whatever way you want to structure this, it is slow, but it's like you're watching it and you're like, okay, now the Japanese are involved. The Manchurians are still looking for this guy. There's possibility they'll sell it. Who has the map? At a certain point, the whole map just disappeared. Like no one has it. They have to go back to the same place to find the map.
Which yeah, and that just goes back to what we were talking about earlier about. That last sequence, it was brilliantly directed, and it's one of those sequences where, that sequence not only does it work within the context of the story, it works on its own though as a great action sequence. Whereas you might look at me and hear me jabber and how much I love all these action sequences and gunfights and stuff like that. But I will say that unless a sequence like that is done like to perfection, like a lot of the scenes were in this film. A scene like that is just going to fall flat if there's nothing in front of it to give it context.
There's no reason for it. If there's
no reason for it and it's just a bunch of hunky guys shooting at each other, it's just like, what's the point of that?
Hunky guys.
Those goddamn hunky guys.
Is this film available in a format that actually has subtitles on it for the regular DVD renter?
Not for Region 1 regular DVD renters. I don't think. I don't think it currently has released yet in the States.
But I thought it was going to be theatrical.
Well, no, it could be. I don't know yet. They don't have a.
We're still on the fence.
They haven't specified it. You can get a Region 2 or Region 3, I think, for China. This is a Chinese DVD basically. It has English, which is pure. It's fine, and it's kind of interesting. I always thought about this. a lot of movies like this will not have subtitles for anything beyond just the straight dialogue. This movie actually had the subtitles for dialogue that was in the background, like the women that were screaming, "Don't take my child."
Yeah, yeah.
In the very beginning, it was like, you don't. I understand. I don't even need a subtitle for that. I know what that woman in the background is screaming about when a guy's got a gun to a little girl walking away, and I'm like, I know what's happening here.
I think The Host can come over here and be such a hit. I think this movie has 10, 20, 30 times more plausibility to be a hit over.
Oh yeah, it's not a monster movie. It's a western. Well, it's an action film.
It's full bore action.
I mean, my concern with the translation, I think, comes back to time frame. If this film did get a theatrical U.S. stateside release, I guarantee it'd be heavily edited.
Edited and dubbed, or just edited with something?
I don't think it'd be dubbed. If they released,
they dubbed
fucking everything.
They dubbed The Host when they released it here.
Yeah. Well, I saw it subtitled at Uptown.
But yeah, there was a dub version.
There was a dub version that came out to most theaters.
But no, I'm just
because
saying
people don't like to read.
Yeah, they don't go to movies to read. They go to movies to watch. Right?
Yeah, that's why they won't enjoy Let the Right One In, because I gotta read this shit.
Yeah,
fuck
exactly.
that.
So they decided to remake it.
Yeah.
I would tentatively give it like a 7 or an 8, with the potential for upgrowth if I wasn't so damn tired. Because as an art form, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was well put together, very well acted. It was enjoyable, a little long, so I'll take a point off for that or whatever.
So it lost a point for length, and another point for what?
Well, the other point, if you're gonna say taking a point away, would be really my own fault for having fallen asleep.
It loses a point because I fell asleep.
Well, yeah. I mean, if the film isn't keeping me awake, then so I gotta say something isn't quite there for it. Yeah. At the same time, if I wasn't so abnormally tired and slightly inebriated, then maybe I wouldn't have fallen asleep.
You didn't even fall asleep during Damnation Alley.
He did.
Because it was boring.
I thought he didn't. He didn't fall asleep during Damnation Alley.
Well, but I was very awake that day, probably.
Damnation Alley.
What did I give that Red Bull? 6?
Yeah, right. I think we all give it.
Yeah, we were all very disappointed with it. Well, yeah. But yeah, I'll give it a solid 8. I'm happy with 8. It's definitely worth taking the time and the effort to find a copy of the film that you can watch and see it.
I think this is hilarious because the last time when we reviewed Boss Nigger, Lance and I had a very similar rating, and this time we're also going to have a very similar rating, and I will say 8 as well. 8 because, I mean, obviously 8 is a great rating.
Because he hates zipper heads.
Oh my... Alright. So at least the racial slur is accurate.
It is, yeah, exactly.
8 being a really great high rating. I mean, obviously, I loved the action. I loved the gun action, the chasing, the intensity, the funny moment. I mean, let's just put it this way: it was a fun movie from start to finish, and it could just be a translation thing, but it could also be a story thing that I just wasn't picking up on at the time. And like I said, the middle of the movie wasn't the most wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen, but like I said, the ending was amazing. That last half hour of the film is so good, and that middle has to be there to give that context. So I give the film overall a really high score of an 8.
12.7 out of 10. No, I actually would. This movie I give a 10 out of 10 because I can recommend this to everyone.
You're being very generous.
I'm not being generous. This movie is awesome.
But usually you're very strict about the way you rate.
I know, but like I said, what I said earlier was that there is no flaws at all in this movie that I could see. But basically, we got 8 and 10. If you can find this film, we're saying find it.
Yeah, and I'll say this right now. I think actually, upon second viewing, I'd probably like the film.
Yeah. I can't find a flaw with this movie. It might have been slow at some points, but I still got back into it.
All I'm gonna say is jet machine gunner on a truck mowing down guys on horses.
Again, not appropriate. I'm pretty sure most people that watch this on YouTube and stuff will be like, yeah, I'm gonna go see that movie. They're not gonna be like, well, I'm gonna watch it dubbed.
Yeah, if you watch it dubbed, I'll come to your house and beat the piss out of you. Literally. I'll find you.
If you think you can beat him up, then it's fine. Watch it and send us an email. Send us an email saying you can beat the shit out of Lance.
Unfortunately, you'd be wrong. I'm just letting you know right now. There's no end. There is no end to the pain I will bring you.
No, see where's Mike Nelson would just stick a jet machine gunner on your ass, motherfuckers.
I hope we end more vidcasts with. It's gonna come down to the jet machine gunner showing up at your house.
That was just so cool, man.